All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a part 2, a part 2 on the topic in which I spoke of yesterday, robbing the poor in spirit. And I'm so ready for part 2. And I've got me a little rest today. I attend the funeral and I got me a little rest and I am ready to go. Okay. I want to start off by saying I'm going to give you an opportunity to pull out now because this is another video like unto the first, robbing the poor in spirit. I did my best trying to inform people that the way that the Father has orchestrated things from the heaven, he did them in twos. And you have to be able to know what is twos in everything Yah done and is doing. You can find light once you understand them in twos. Okay. Now, even with the light, that is one. Okay. But darkness is another. There go two. Flesh and spirit, there go two. And that's what this topic is dealing with. The poor in the flesh and the poor in the spirit. And both of them are heavy, heavy power punches in the spiritual heart of the Father because he has created it to be two. So what is actually taking place, we're living in a time period where right now they could care less about two, let alone one. It doesn't matter. Right now we're stuck on, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity right now. I think you better pull out while you can. Put your foot on the pedal and pull off or pull out. That's your choice, because Sister Deborah finna hit pierce the core of individual. It is said that the word is like unto a two-edged sword. It knows how to go in and it knows how to come out. But it's always get or hit the target. The word of Yah is created to pierce you all the way past the bone marrow. That means it don't care about your emotion. It don't care about your feelings. It don't care about what you think. You know, how disappointed you are. The two-edged sword is righteous. It could care about feelings when it is all righteous. And the Yah's servants, which is his elect, they uses the sword because the sword uses them. The greater is he that is in thee than he that is in the world. So if Yah is in us and he is the greatest, then therefore, who holds the word Yeah. His spirit rests in us, y'all. And when he reside in the individual and he speak, he don't care about your feelings. He don't care about your mood swings, your emotions. Only evil and wicked cares about your feelings and your emotions. You didn't know that, did you? And what is that? Your flesh. So this message is going to continue as part 2 of robbing the poor in spirit. Now we have 2 poor: the poor in spirit and the poor. You have to be able to, but you can't. I can't say you have to be able. If these are the things I have said time after time, that this is how you know who you are, or if you are in the light, or if spirit and truth is living in you. See, a lot of people have this thing about, I'm going to adapt or adopt spirit and truth and the light and just claim it. To me, I call that faking it and thinking you're going to make it. You can claim it. That's just like the deceivers. The Father gave them those to deceive. They can't deceive Yah's. He said if it was so, it could deceive the very elect. Letting you know the elect are mine. They can't be fooled by that. But it could if they weren't mine. That's what he said. If they wasn't molded from my heart before the foundation of the world, you could fool them. But heaven already checked them in and checked them out. So when they get down here, they ready. You ain't gonna even know who they are, but they ready. You ain't gonna care for them, but they ready. You ain't gonna like them, but they ready. You ain't gonna care about what they say, but they ready. See, it ain't caught up in your emotions and your feelings. Your emotions and your feelings and your personal opinion is your flesh rumbling. And you don't know how to keep it under control. That's another sign that you are not in spirit and truth, and that the light is nowhere near you. Because, again, this is an opportunity to pull up and pull out of this video. Because I'm going to cut in and I'm going to cut out. I'm going to speak what he has given me, and I ain't going to back up. I ain't going to put nothing in reverse. I'm going at speed, okay? Because this thing is what I know about. See, what he put in my heart and what he gives me, I don't buckle up and buckle down, because I know what he said. See, because he applied it to me first. He applies it to me first. And then say, are you ready? I am ready, Father Yah. So much for that. This is your opportunity before I dig in. And the topic is robbing the poor in spirit. And these are those who come down as servants and the mission of the Most High Yah. They come down to give you what Yah created them in the heavens to do, to be a mouthpiece to him. This is the reason why so many prophets lost their lives, speaking like I'm speaking today about this type of topic. I should have went in here and poured out how the people felt about the prophets and what they were saying. But you know what? This is such a spiritual, powerful message. The Father said, you don't need no bag up, so don't you bag down. Speak that thing. Because right now, Deborah, you in your lane. Speak that thing. See, as long as you speaking what someone wants to claim they understand, a lot of times, 99.9, they don't understand. They claim they understand. And that's sometimes due to a quickening. And what you say, it quickens them for a moment. That's just like the seeds that were planted. All the seeds that the sower planted, all seven, I think it was seven. Let me see. I think it was like, was it seven or five? Maybe five. It's all that the sower sowed. I noticed all of them had the opportunity. Had the opportunity because they were the seed. The opportunity to what? To know the word. Because it was given to them. It's what they did with it afterwards. You see? But there was one seed that just stayed rooted in the soil. And that seed was the only one that brought forth the abundance to the Most High throne. But the others, emotions, feelings, personal opinion, everything they got to do with their flesh causes their seed not to increase, but stay at that level until it died off. Died off by what? And that's another issue with these platforms. That's why I know that they are a devil platform. Because people run to and fro, going all over the place. Oh, I don't like what he said. He said this, he said that, he said this, he said that. But at first, you've been with him for a long time. But now he said something that moved you. Come on, that's your feelings. That's your personal opinion. That's your emotions. That's wicked and evil. Those are the things that make you your worst enemy. And then you move to another one. And move to another one. And move to another one. And then this is the part that bothers me. None one of you know who you are in Yah. Where is your calling? We in the midnight hour. You know not what you are called to in the body of Hamashiach. You don't know. But you have this strong spirit of emotions, feelings, and personal opinion that has the audacity to move to and fro to different platforms. Like you the king of the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. But yet you, midnight hour we're in, and we're in the last hour, and you don't even know what you are called to in the body of Hamashiach. Furthermore, how did you get there? What is your purpose? What is your position? What are your gifts? Because in the body of Hamashiach is all power that was thrown down to give all Yah's spiritual gifts, their calling, their purpose in him. We in the midnight hour, where's your calling? Where's your purpose? Oh, you can't find it, can you? Look at your watch again. We in the late hour. Somebody asked you, what are you called? Who called you? And what are you called? What is your purpose in the body of Hamashiach? You couldn't even tell them. You couldn't even tell them. You might tell them smiling. So Sister Deborah going to dig in and she's going to dig out. I'm going to pierce the heart of many. Again. Oh, I left that pot on. Hold on. I promised myself that I would try to remember to cut that off, and I didn't, but that's okay. But I'm going to dig back into pretty much, we got two poor, and one is the poor in spirit, and that are those who come down, who are already going to return. Okay? Then you have the poor, meaning the poor that's out here. A lot of people get it confused. They thinking that the poor represents the poor in spirit. That's not true. That's not true. Because the poor is out here, many, their purpose is also to make a difference in those that have, to change even their heart. Okay? How? By when one change their hearts, once they see and run up on the poor. And when you give to the poor, okay, it changes their hearts. You see, it's a heart thing, baby. Where you at? But see, people want to look down on those that's in the streets and poor in a way that, here, I'm going to give him a sandwich. I'm going to give him something to eat. I'm going to give him a few dollars. I'm going to give him a little card. Baby, that's like a blink and buy. So you know that what you're doing is trying to satisfy your flesh, that you're doing something. Because the reality is, giving somebody a few dollars, giving somebody something to eat. Most people eat 2 times. Some people eat 3 times a day. You giving this person a meal and buy. You see how sick, and they wonder why y'all still have your tail here in this promised land, in captivity, with a yoke around your door and neck, and you still wondering why. A lot of people do not understand why there's no healing in their body, because there's no healing in their heart. There's no healing in their mind. They rotten from the inside out, not the outside in. So a lot of people can't identify strangers or family members. A lot of them can't identify it because they're rotten from the inside out. Because the outside faking it, thinking it's going to make it. So a lot of people don't understand the things that they're going through in a turmoil and the issues of life. A lot of them is what you put out. And what do you mean by that, Deborah? What your spirit put out. It's what your flesh gives. That's why he said it's a hard thing. Oh, they don't care about that. So again, I give you this opportunity. You better slide up out of here. You better slide up out while you can, because Sister Deborah finna rumble on this thing. So there's 2 poor. There's a poor in spirit. They have their ticket already back to the kingdom. 99.9 don't even know that they have their ticket already. But if they come to Sister Deborah's page, the first thing they would do is say, it's finished. It's over. They would say that because they have heard what they always struggle with. Why? Because all their lives, they have struggled with who they are. Because they see themselves so different. They see themselves as, what you call it, a black sheep of the family. Everybody have put them in a black box. Everywhere they go, they in a black box. They in there for a reason, baby. Because in that black box, guess what? There's light. You just don't realize it. So that's why I say this Sister Deborah page needs to flip up and flip down. Many needs to do away. See, you don't understand when I say it's just that one. I could be that one. You don't get it, do you? Let's look at Noah. All those years, he was building the ark and not visiting, and ministering to the people. It's going to rain. They need to come in. Not one, but he was the one. So you get what I'm saying? If you think for 1 minute y'all need you on this devil platform, sitting and listening and beholding and eating from the plate in which Sister Deborah put before this platform, you think he needs you? Because if he don't need you, what makes you think I need you? Because I'm going to say what he gave me to say, what he had birthed in me. Because like I told you a few days ago, when he told me you gave him some pure word in spirit and truth. The best food they going to get on a plate. So therefore, I couldn't care less where nobody else go. Or feelings, personal opinion, emotions. I know that's all flesh. And the Father has a way of rightly dividing what is truth and what is not. Same way with flesh and same way with spirit. See, as long as one is saying something that one can say, yes, that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. But when that sword, the sword is the word, W-O-R-D, capital W-O-R-D of Yah. When that come, it can pierce and slice you all the way to your past your bone marrow. That's why it's a two-edged. No matter which way it swings, it's gonna hit you. Only thing about it when it pierces you, either way you swing it, you should pierce. It should be able to pierce you, no matter which way it pierces you. It tells you if you can stand or not. Really, who you are, and that's the word of Yah. The W, capital W-O-R-D. You know, when Yeshua was on the mountain here, dealing with Satan, it is written. You don't mess with the word of Yah. Everything proceed out of his mouth. Why? Because it's a two-edged sword. And Sister Deborah is going to teach that thing. I'm going to get on her every day. And every day, my desire is that the Father pierces the heart of many so they can go on in another direction. That's my heart desire. Go where you can fake it and you can make it. Stop stealing and robbing the plate at this restaurant, eating and walking away. And so, you know what? And eating everything on the plate. And like I said, a glass of light. It's the drink. Drinking it and walking straight out. This platform right here is the devil's platform. All these platforms is the devil platform. What I'm speaking has nothing to do with no devil. Even he himself wouldn't waste his time trying to correct Sister Deborah because he know it. Hey, I ain't bothering her. I know who she is. He wouldn't even waste his time. Like he told, Satan told the Most High about Job. I ain't finna bother Job. I know you think I don't know what you got around with Job. You think I don't know how you got things invested in Job. Even if you did take the hedge, I ain't finna mess with that man. Until you mess with him first. Put that right hand on him and then I get him. But outside of that, no. You ain't gonna talk me into going over the bottom with Job. People just got it bent about who Satan is. He's already hell-bound. But a lot of people are just as hell-bound as he is. Because that's where they are in their heart. And their destiny. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to start and I'm going to make sure I finish this here whole part 2 so I won't have to go into a part 3. And I want to start with Luke chapter 6. And like I say, this is your opportunity to pull up, boom, flee out. like Revelation chapter 20. Revelation chapter 20, it said that the earth and the sea flee from the face of he that sits on the great throne. Fled, took off running. That's my Father, Yah. His name is AHAYAH. That's my Father, the creator of all things. He's that right hand power. Okay, in Luke chapter 6 and verse 20, and I'm going to do this in kind of a speedy way, And Luke chapter 6 and verse 20. And I'm really trying to kind of identify to you all the poor in spirit is Yah's servants. Those are the elects. I know your church, your Christian church, your Hebrew Israelite movement, your camp, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Patriot, all of them. None of them have Twitter, haven't taught you the word of Yah. Only one can do that is the word himself. But he has to abide in you. He can't teach you on the outer. He has to already be in you, where he abide comfortable in your spirit. So here we go. We're going to Luke chapter 6, verse 20. And it reads, and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples. On who? His disciples. On who? His disciples. On who? His disciples. Luke chapter 6 and verse 20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, this is Yeshua. He finna say something to his disciples. Listen. Blessed be ye. I told you. The poor are the true servants of the Most High Yah. Listen to what Yeshua telling them, his disciples. Blessed. You blessed already, baby. Be ye poor. Ye. For yours. See, ye and yours. He's saying this to the disciples. Y'all are the poor. For yours is the kingdom of Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Thank you, Father Yah. Thank you, Father Yah. Thank you. That is so beautiful. Because I told you all, Yeshua, he did an excellent job. And right here, he's telling the prophetess, blessed are ye, poor. For yours is the kingdom of Yah. Let theirs be theirs. But you are blessed with the ED already. For yours is already the kingdom of Yah. So you think I'm going to get on here and monkey around with you all and tell you what your flesh want to hear? That assures me who I am in him. See, Sister Deborah it's not like people who run around here in the midnight hour trying to figure out, well, what should I be doing, or what should I be saying, or how I should be acting. They don't know how to minister to nobody. They don't know how to witness to nobody. They don't even know how to speak this word to anyone. Everywhere they go, they get and set themselves in the midst of the world with no identity, no fruit of the Spirit, to where people walk by and see them, they know who they are. Now, they don't know who you are because you're faking it till you think you're going to make it. That's why I say get off this page. Unsubscribe if you possibly can. Because I had no idea about 3 days ago when he was dealing with me and he said to me, you have fed much good food, pure food of spirit and truth. You have given drink for the light. You don't have to come on there every day. You don't have to say, you don't owe nobody nothing. I never figured that out until this morning when he was giving me all this information when I did part 1. poor, Deborah. And this is why I can stand here today on this devil platform and teach this thing with part 2. Get out and stay out of the restaurant eating 4 meal deals of spirit and truth and drinking the light. Getting up, walking out with no fruit of the spirit, nor treasures that thou giveth to build up in heaven. Honestly, the reason why I say if anyone you need to get up and get out of there, out of this here platform, you need to unsubscribe from this YouTube page that I am on. Because from now on, I'm cutting in and I'm cutting out. I'm going to be about my Father's business. We in such a midnight hour. He already got everybody orchestrated who in and who ain't. So I might as well tell the truth and shame I don't even say shame the devil, but shame the flesh of man and women, males and females. Speak truth, Deborah. Truth is righteous. That's what you come down here for. You ain't come down here to be locked up in nobody's personal opinion, their feelings and their emotions. As you all say. So here, right here. Oh, they ain't gonna tell you. Now listen to verse 21. I didn't have 21 on here. Luke chapter 6, verse 20, and I will pull into 21. Luke chapter 6, verse 20. And he lift up his eyes on his disciples, not on the multitude. So the multitude is all up in YouTube, just striving, praising, and supporting everybody's restaurant on YouTube. It's telling them lies about the Father. And they are deceivers and making sure. But then they come over to this restaurant, eating up spirit and truth free. Because they robbing. They robbing. And they think they righteous. And then they think they right in it. I don't have no problem with it. Y'all just want me to know. You get on here if you want to. You don't have to. Because you give him plenty of food, almost 5 years. So, it's up to you. Because these here videos that I've given, they're going to remain on this devil platform until they get ready to shut it off, which they're going to do pretty soon. But they're going to remain here. I done my part. So he's just saying, but that's so, don't feel that you obligated. You're not obligated, Deborah, to the world. Understand that. Don't feel that you owe somebody something. You had that restaurant open almost 5 years. And not now time did you get paid. You see what I'm saying? But they go to all these other restaurants in the flesh. And pay for somebody's nasty hands to put together something they don't even know what they got on their plate to eat. And they sit there and eat just as happy. They pull up in the fast food restaurant and they don't know who are in there fixing their natural food, their natural McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. And they get their soda. And he said, Deborah, see how they take care of their flesh? See how they make sure they nourish their bodies, their flesh? You see how they take care of their flesh, Deborah? So why are you worried about the spiritual food which you're putting on plates at the restaurant that you serve, that you cook for? And they come in eating in the spirit realm and walk straight out like they owe nothing. My Father is awesome. He is awesome. Now, a lot of people say the word of Yah is free. Yah, you don't have to pay for the word of Yah. No, you don't have to pay. What people give you here, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for spirit and truth. You don't have to pay for the light. None of it. Because it ain't going to pay you to enter into the kingdom. He tells you, lay up your treasures on the earth. How can you lay up treasures on this earth? How, Most High? AHAYAH, AHAYAH. How can I lay up the treasures on the earth? For the heaven? What are you talking about? Because Deborah, mine is down there on the earth. When you bless them, you bless me. When you bless them, you bless me. When you accept what they're saying by me, him, the Spirit of the Most High has already sent his servant. His servants. He said, you give them a drink of water. Your reward is in heaven. Yeshua gave us a laid out example. Beautiful. I can teach that on any mountain. Beautiful, powerful message. And he's scoping it in the hearts of the disciples. When I was hungry, you gave me meat. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. Do you really believe that Yeshua needed meat and it was about meat? Do you really think that the drink was about drink? No, he was letting the righteous ones understand. You were created to be the righteous one. And right today, let me give you a little glimpse of why Sister Deborah is able to discern with a discerning spirit who you are and don't even have to be in your face. Don't have to see you or know you. You by your fruit. Your fruit is how you stand on what is righteous. If he say to you, build up your treasures for heaven, how can you build that up? Do you think it's about your feelings, your personal opinion, your emotion, and what you say? Or is it about what he has given us instructions and directions in how we can understand through the Spirit of the Most High Yah? What is your treasures? He say, where your heart is where your wealth is where your heart. Because he telling you there, he measures your heart based on how you measure what you have. So it's coming from an end in which not one is willing to accept. Because they rather look and keep their tails on this Deborah platform, listening to Deborah, than to be able to dip into that woman talking spirit and truth. It's even in the instruction books, but the way she's putting it, it's strictly spirit and truth. So here in Luke 21, let me see, Luke 29, nope, I'm reading all my other verses. Let me go. Luke chapter 6, verse 20, and I'm going to go on into 21. In Luke chapter 6, verse 20, Yeshua is telling you he lift up his eyes, and he was talking with his eyes to his disciples. And he said, what I mean talking, he was giving them, he wanted them to pay attention closely. And his eyes were steadfast on them while he spoke this into their spirits. Now listen to what he said. Blessed be ye. It says at the top, he was only talking to the disciples. He wasn't talking to the multitude. So that's why Sister Deborah always try to tell y'all, get your tail up off this platform where I'm at. Don't sit and listen to Sister Deborah every time she's on here, knowing you ain't got spirit and truth, knowing you ain't you don't have a pen needle or light. Go somewhere and sit down. Go on, unsubscribe. I will not be on this platform with Sister Deborah faking it, thinking I'm making it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't waste my time at a place where I think somebody don't know who I am. And I told you I'd give you a little token. Your actions speak louder than your words. That's why you can't put words nowhere near Sister Deborah and think I'm just going to look at your words and what you say and take it at face value. No, baby. Actions speak louder than your words. And even the actions itself shows who you are. It don't matter. Now, here in Luke chapter 6, you get to Luke chapter 6 and verse 20, and then you get down to 21. I like how Yeshua is assuring. And they don't even get it. The disciples didn't get it, child. What he was saying to them, they didn't get it. They didn't understand it. They weren't even comprehending it. Why? Because they didn't have in them the Ruach HaKodesh. See, when the Ruach HaKodesh come in them, the day of Pentecost, it was going to teach them what they didn't understand and bring things back to their remembering everything Yeshua spoke to them about. So they got it. It's just that during the time he was with them, they didn't understand it. Let's go to verse 21. Let's see what he said. He telling them already, baby, you got your ticket already. You came down here like that. You are the righteous one for the kingdom. They didn't get that. They did not get it. Now listen to what he said. Blessed are ye that hunger now. Who is he talking to? His disciples, the righteous one. Listen to what he's saying. I know it. It's better for you not to even hear or take heed to what's being said right now. It's too hard for you. And I understand. It's because you ain't who you think you are. Okay? So it identifies your fake. Okay? Now he said, verse 21, blessed are ye that hunger now. Watch this here. For ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. What is he saying? He's telling them, let me go on to 22. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you. Praise the mighty Yah. And when they shall separate you from their company. Praise the Most High Yah. See, I was supposed to just stop at 20, but I'm feeling this thing, y'all. The Holy Spirit is telling me, no, you ain't finna stop at no 20. Go on, read that thing. So those that's on there can bat their tails up out of there. Tell that spirit in truth. Tell them the truth of the matter. Give it to them. And it says, verse 21, blessed are ye that hunger now, and ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company. So unsubscribe. You're doing me a favor. Okay? And shall reapproach you and cast out your name as evil for the sons of man's sake. See? So when you're on here and you heard such a powerful message that is being put out by the sister, by the prophetess, guess what? You are fulfilling the word of the Most High Yah. only doing what he has already orchestrated you to do. You ain't doing something because you all that and some. You can like and subscribe and you can, you got what it takes, baby. No, that ain't got nothing to do with it. Oh, y'all need to highlight that because that's a good topic. I only have Luke chapter 6 verses 20, but all the way to 22. That's beautiful. And it says in 23, rejoice ye in that day. Praise the mighty God. See, because you all thinking that you are the one that makes Sister Deborah who she is. You thinking just because you come to the page that you all that no, baby. Sister Deborah been able to discern who you are. I can tell. You know what? If someone were to never speak to me, but come and say, okay, can you tell me some things? Never knew me, never called me, never did. And they hear me, and I tell them their life. I tell them they yesterday and tell them they today, and I back it up with what it's going to be like for them tomorrow. Then will they know? But the Father is saying to my spirit, why would you use such a tool for those who are robbing you already? But see, what I'm saying is the gift that was given to me. I know who I am. I'm in the body of Hamashiach. I'm one of them little pin needles in the body of Hamashiach. Appointed, anointed, predestined, and ordained before the foundation of the world. And I know what time it is. I know what time it is. So that's beautiful. Let's go to Proverbs 21. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to highlight that bad boy. That is beautiful. And I like that. I'm telling you, you sure know he did an excellent job. Proverbs. In Proverbs 21 and verse 13. Let's see what 21 and 13 is saying. 21 and verse 13. Whosoever stop his ears. So what he's saying is, whosoever close his ears, stop his ears. Someone who does that is because they don't want to hear. You don't have to put your fingers in your ear. You can stop your ears from having a heart and a spirit that says, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I ain't going to hear that because that's not true. I ain't going to listen to that. I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to dislike. Good, perfect, excellent, wonderful, great, awesome. Okay? But this is talking about how whosoever stop his ears, he talking about the natural ears, meaning I don't want to hear what she got to say. I don't like her. That's why this is a devil platform. It lets everybody dance to everything the devil and demons are doing in their hearts. And they dance to it. Here it says, whosoever stop his ears, that means from hearing, at the cries of the poor. Let's go back. Luke 6. What are you talking about, Deborah? I'm trying to explain to y'all who is this they talking about. Let's do that. Let me show you something. And we just was in Luke 6. Let's go back to Luke 6. So you want to think you know something? I'm going to show you don't know nothing. When you get to Luke 6, where we just left from, and you go to verse 21. Blessed, baby. Disciples, you already BLESSED already, past tense. Why? Because Deborah, tell those people, minds are blessed from heaven already. So you can give them a drink of water, or you can starve them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Guess what? They already the richest on the face of the earth already. and they would never die of thirst. They would never die of hunger. They on Yah's time. They can. You see? So when you go back to Luke chapter 6, we covered just now, that was the first verse. Luke chapter 6, verse 20. We went all the way down to 23, but I even see where he said exactly what I was just saying. We rich, but I ain't gonna go there. But so I want to connect you to verse 21. Luke chapter 6 and verse 21. And another thing, a lot of people like to hear you talk, but they don't even follow the instructions books when you teaching or when you telling them to go to it. They want to hear you so they can judge you. So they can take and divide what you saying, separate it from themselves, and because they don't want to see it. It's saying what it's saying, and then the Ruach is letting me speak on top of what it's saying. They don't want to even see it because it brings shame. It judges them. That's really what it does. They don't want to do that. They want somebody to believe that they in there. And like I told y'all, this is not the time to put on them fake skin cover up, because y'all are seeing everybody for who they are. It's finished in him. So all you walk around with all your fake, it's like a person walking around with all kind of fake makeup on and fake hair and fake booties, fake boobs. And when you finish, baby, you're not just fake on the outside. It started your fakeness in the inside. How you like them now? How you like them now? See, the fake started from the inside. So, Luke chapter 6 and verse 21, it says, "Blessed are ye that hunger now." He's talking to the disciples. "For ye shall be filled." Let them know, I got y'all. I got y'all in the heavens. You good. "Blessed are ye that weep." What do weep mean? Cry. He tell them, but you blessed already. "Blessed is he that cry now, for ye shall laugh." Ye shall laugh. Now, weep is cry. Now, let's go back to Proverbs 21 and verse 13. Proverbs 21 and verse 13. Okay, and what does it say? "Whosoever stop his ears at the cry of the poor." Hallelujah. So you can get on here. After I asked you to leave, I politely said, get up out this page because I'm gonna cut deep. I'm gonna cut deep. And from now on, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut deep, y'all. I mean, like deep, deep, deep. So it'll get everybody that shouldn't even be on this page up out of here. I'm looking for those who are appointed and anointed and predestined to walk in light and in spirit and truth. Not the fake until they make it. They've been robbing faithfully the poor in spirit. And think y'all gonna justify him. He's gonna clarify him. He's gonna identify them to be somebody in the heaven. Come on now. Every scripture I have shown you, prove it. And then I'm speaking on top of it through the Ruach HaKodesh. You must be the dumbest of the dumbest of the dumbest on the face of the earth, as I always said, to not see nothing in spirit and truth. But it says, Proverbs 21, verse 13, whoso stop his ears at the cry of the poor. See, the poor that they're talking about is the poor in spirit, the anointed ones, the righteous ones. That's why Yeshua explained, I'm going to take the sheep to the throne of the Most High Yah. and show them that this is what you were prepared for you are the righteous one. And they sitting here saying, well, when did we do this? Well, everything Yeshua was telling them they did was connected to give. And what he's saying to me, as I just said that, he said, Deborah, but it's the righteous given to the righteous. It's not the righteous receiving from the unrighteous. So you see why I can speak the way I speak and say, get up out of here. You had 5 years of doing nothing but robbing from the plate of the one that's poor in spirit. The only treasures you're going to have in the earth, or in the heavens, is how you do what you are called to do if you are the righteous. Let me go back there. Father Yah, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Father, this is, you said it was some of the purest, potent is food that I have ever spoken. And I see exactly what you're saying. Okay. Now, we were just in Proverbs 21. Okay. And it's telling you that if you stop your ears at the cry of the poor, which is the words of the righteous, he also shall cry himself. He also shall cry himself. Yeshua told him that you're going to weep, but you're going to laugh. When he's crying, the righteous is crying because you're stopping your ears up at what the cry of the poor. Thinking that you have so much of your choice. You got so much power in your flesh that you can overpower the spirit. And you can. Your spirit. And know that when your flesh have that type of power over your spirit, you're in the books with an S that leads to the lake of hell. I told y'all, this day, you should already know which way you're going. Oh no, you can lay down and get up, lay down and get up every day. Oh, I got spirit of truth. I'm right. And still come to the same table in which you eat of. And have the audacity to not build up any treasures in the heaven. In any type of representation of the servant that Yah has put before you. To cook up the chef. To cook up the food. That's one thing I told y'all. I see you here, but you here not. That's why I know who you are. Remember I told y'all, I know who I'm talking to. I can sit on here and talk to y'all for 1,000,000 years, and guess what? I already know who I'm talking to. That's just my personality. I talk to anybody, whether you saved or unsaved. But I'm going to stay at the level of who I am. I'm not going to change for you, and I'm not going to change for me. I'm going to let the Most High chastise me, discipline me, correct me, and get me right, and get me tight. But it ain't going to be you. You see? So right here in Proverbs chapter 13, he's saying, whosoever stops up his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself. Who is that, the poor? That's exactly what Yeshua was telling the disciples. You're going to cry now, but you're going to laugh later. But here he's crying because he said, y'all little sick people. Do y'all know what I come down here to do and help you? No, they don't know that. They get care of that. Because see, one thing I'm going to tell you, let me finish this here. But shall not be heard. That's why people don't listen to you. You run around here robbing the poor in spirit. Thinking somebody want what you got. Don't understand if you have anything, it was never for you. Yah will give you just to see, to show you really which heart do you have. Do you have a heart of Yah or the heart of Satan? When you take what you have and you serve your flesh, And me, you have the heart of flesh and not the heart of the spirit of the Most High Yah. So when he's saying this in Proverbs, I love David. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, these brothers be helping this sister out. This is beautiful. Because he's saying they stop their ears up, Deborah, so they won't hear the righteous one. And also, shall cry himself. This is Proverbs 21 and verse 13. But shall not be heard. So those is out there, you're not going to be heard. Do you ever wonder why you can't minister to nobody? Do you ever wonder why people don't listen to you? Do you ever wonder why people don't like you? People don't like to be around you? And when you speak, even though you're on this devil platform, you holier than thou. You're faking it till you make it. Meaning you doing things to make people think that you humble and you kind and you sweet and you nice. That's flesh identity. It's called deceit. But you can't get nobody's spirit and truth. You say you have spirit and truth, but you can't give it to nobody. You can't even talk to nobody. Nobody won't even listen to you. Nobody don't even see your light. But you want to get on this devil platform. It identify you or who you are in your family, on your workplace, in your life, because it matches. So when you, Sister Deborah, telling you, I already know who you are. That's why. Your actions. And if you spirit and truth and you are the light, guess what? Your light would be the opposite of what is being said. But you don't have it because it shows. It shows in the emotions, in the personal opinion, in the feelings that you ain't who you think you are. That's a blessing to hear that. Because it's caused one to go to the altar and say, Father, search me from the inside out. Anything that's not of you and not representing you, teach me it. Show me it. That's if my Father is willing. Robbing from the poor in spirit, as long as you're living, it's not like it's over. But it's a lesson that you too shall be robbed. If he decides, okay, I'm going to show you, because this is an area in which you've been in all your life, you too shall be robbed. And this is what's going on. Those that's on these platforms, I keep telling y'all, this is the devil platform. This is Yah's platform, meaning this is not a appointed and anointed platform. Why would I look like coming on this devil platform singing to the devil when I represent Yah? Do that make any sense? I don't give him the time of day, nor the night. How you like me now? So here is beautiful because he said, but shall not be heard. So it's a lot of people today. They come on this devil platform, but still can't talk to no one about spirit and truth and the light. And we in the midnight hour. What you mean you can't witness? What you mean nobody can hear you in your family, in your neighborhood, or in your workplace, and wherever you go? They can't hear you minister because they seen you faking it. They seen you walking one way and speaking another. And here it's telling you, you close your ears up to he that is poor, because you don't understand the poor has its purpose in Yah. Even the poor in the flesh has its purpose in Yah. What do you mean, Deborah? There's a reason for the poor, and it's a reason for the wealth, the rich. They were created to help one another. The poor changes the heart of the rich, and the rich changes the lifestyle of the poor. Then you see the Most High Yah. The poor give the rich a change of heart. And the rich gives the poor a better lifestyle. That's why y'all don't see my Father. You don't see my Father nowhere because you ain't right in your heart. He ain't coming in there. Remember when he says in Ezekiel, let me show y'all what I mean. So I wanted to just show you how in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 13, how it matches what Yeshua is saying in Matthew's, in what was it? Not Matthew's, Luke chapter 6 and verse 20. What was that? 20. I want to get that right. Luke, so you can make sure you write this down and go back over it. If you have any questions of who Deborah is, Luke chapter 6 and verse 21. It matches Proverbs chapter 21. Wait a minute. What? What? That's Steve. Chapter 21 of Proverbs and verse 13 matches Luke 6 and 21. Wow. But guess what? This is not bouncing off each other. You'll never see it showing you a precept bouncing off each other. So this is the Ruach HaKodesh showing me verses to bounce off of, okay, and giving them to me to read before I come on here. So I think that's beautiful, but that bounces off on there because I just noticed that. So when I tell you, there's times I'm teaching and I'm learning at the same time. 99 point trillion wouldn't tell you that because they don't want you to think that they learning because they're not. They busy teaching, speaking, and not hearing. Sister Deborah have learned to speak and to hear. And if I shut up long enough, I would hear behind here. You see? So this is beautiful. Proverbs 21 and verse 13 is some connection to Luke 6 and 21. It's the weeping. Yeshua is telling them. Okay? So when we get to Matthew's 25, which I spoke on yesterday, everything that they did, the righteous one did, it was connected to give and gave. Okay? But the sad thing about it is, you all listen to people and you listen to yourself more than you do Yah. I'm going to tell y'all that. I'm going to be honest. Honestly, most of the people don't have the Ruach. They're faking it until they make it. And Yah said, I ain't dealing with them. That's what I got you for. You speak it and do what I asked you to do. That's why I tell you to stay in your lane, because I know I created you for a lane. And no matter who on your left, no matter who on your right, no matter who behind you, and know that the one that's in you, with you, is the one in front of you. And as long as I'm in front of you, leading you, you don't got to worry about the side of you, your left side, your right, nor your back. Just keep running in that lane that I created for you. Not this devil platform and these people on this devil platform that's on here to rob the poor in spirit. And y'all say they ain't getting away with nothing, Deborah. They ain't built up not one treasure in heaven because their heart is not right. They think this about their choices, their power to control and what they want to do. It's about me, 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 me. That's what y'all do not like. Y'all like decency and order. Everything the Most High does, he do it in decency and in order. And many continue to rob the poor in spirit. Now listen to this. When Yeshua had took the sheep to the altar of the Most High Yah, he told them, come, blessed of the Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you before the foundation of the world. So if you think your opinion of Deborah, because of what she's saying, that's piercing you from the inside out, who gets a rat's behind? Spirit and truth carry more power than your ugly flesh emotions and feelings and personal opinion. It has no place in the presence of the Most High God. So stand down. Stop clowning. Just get off. Okay? Now listen to this. And it says, he was saying, everything he was saying to him, it had to do with he told him that before the foundation of the world, this kingdom of heavens was prepared for you. And then he began to tell him, when you gave me, you gave me, you gave me. Let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, 7, 8. 8 situations Yeshua put before the sheep. And all of it had to do with give. All of it had to do with give. So what in the world wrong with people who think that they are righteous and they don't have to give anything? Because me and mine, I don't need nobody to tell me when to give or how to give. What was this word? What was the instructions and directions here for? So that the Ruach can come and teach you from the book and give you the fulfillment. What would it be? What sense does it mean in Come on here, we're finna go here. I'm gonna give it to you what the Spirit is giving to me. In Matthew 25, in red, why are y'all carrying a Bible? Why do you have a Bible? What is the purpose of to study this instructions and direction book? Why would you have it with the strong whole idea that nobody don't need to tell me when to give or what to give or what to do? I want to give out. Baby, you will never have a heart to give. You'll never have the heart to do anything because you in your flesh to steal, not to bless. It's in your heart to steal, not to give a drink of water, not to give me meat, not to when I thirst to give me a drink, or when I was a stranger you took me in, when I was naked you clothed me, when I was sick you visited me, when I was in prison you came unto me. Do you think your rat behind would do anything of this? No, because you are in the flesh. And a heart that says, I don't need nobody to tell me to give. I don't need nobody to teach me to give or to chastise me on giving. Then what was you think this instructions and direction that the Holy Spirit comes to give you the fullness is here for? See the power in what Sister Deborah says? Fakeness until you think you're making it. Because everybody want to live their flesh feelings and their flesh emotions. And they thinking that they're going to rule everybody. Go to a page that ain't nobody going to be able to have the spirit of discerning like Deborah had. Nobody ain't going to be able to have the gifts to be able to speak with a sword, the two-edged sword. Go there. Stay there. Stay off my page. I call it my page. I'm looking for that one. And even if it's just me on here, even if I'm just the one subscribers, the one like, praise the mighty God. Noah couldn't get one to come from out of the city, the country, the whole world. Noah couldn't get one. Do you know how many people that was? Millions of people, but he couldn't get one. I think what happened is people really don't know anything in spirit and truth. Because when you think of Noah, you have to think of the whole world was destroyed. That's a lot of people, y'all, and not one. So do you think that Sister Deborah would waste her time on here giving spirit and truth to have a multitude when I know that it's not important to have the multitude? Nor was he was one. It was really just one. Listen to what I'm saying. Only one. Those that came with Noah was those of his family. But he was just that one in Yah. So do you think I need you, your light, your subscribers, to come rob me, the poor in spirit? You're robbing me because you're faking it. You're not representing the Most High Yah in spirit and truth. The Ruach HaKodesh can't be in you, especially if you don't understand what I'm saying today. And the other video earlier, you're gone. Because your emotions, your feelings, and your personal opinion got the best of you. And it identified you that in this midnight hour, you don't have what you say you have. As long as it ain't cutting you, the two-edged sword of the Most High Yah ain't piercing you, you good. You good. But it's a two-edged sword. It's going to come one way. The next time, it's going to come the other. But you bet your bet it's coming for you. Now, when it's 8 times, Yeshua is in heaven, showing it to the sheep. Those are those in the Lamb Book of Life. He's telling them, you gave 8 times. Who did you get? They trying to figure out, when did we get to you? Yeshua said, it wasn't me. But when you give it to the least of one of these, meaning all of those sheep that was there, standing before the throne, as righteous, the least of these, who was that? The righteous. You have done them unto me. So the righteous is created to build up treasures on the earth by supporting the righteous. Let's go there, baby. Let's go there, okay? Here it is. Matthew 25 and verse 35. I was hungry and girt, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger. See, he's saying, stranger. I'm a stranger to you all. But yet, I'm your brother. I'm your sister. Because we are righteous. So we in this together. You see how your flesh can't have dominion over what Sister Deborah said? So you can say what you want, think what you want, feel what you want. Okay, now listen to this. And he said, I was thirsty and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger. So I don't have to be your best friend. I don't have to be with you, stay with you. Like he was saying, what are you doing, Deborah? You don't have to be on that. The Father spoke to me a few days ago. He said, you don't have to be on that. You don't have to give him nothing. So that telling me that, look, stay in your lane. Don't get bent. Because you sitting here feeding these people. You've been feeding them 5 years. Almost 5 years. And here it is. You don't see no fruit of the Spirit from these people. You can't even discern it. But you can see the fruit of their actions. Because they don't represent you. They want to eat from the plate, meaning what you're teaching, what you're putting on the plate. They want to drink and they want the full meal deal. Get up off the seat and walk away like it ain't nothing. You don't see them offering you a drink. But they eat from the poor of spirit plate, the righteous one. And they can't be righteous if they robbing the righteous poor in spirit. So they can't be who you think. See, all that time you knew. Yes, I knew. That's why I told y'all I can discern who y'all are. That's why it's best that you from this day on, just this day, because I gave part 1 and part 2, it's time to start unsubscribing. Because you called. The sword decided for me to teach this thing today. I felt it a day ago, and I wanted to come live. But here I am. Part 2. If you heard part 1, you need to pull up in part 2. So you'll know who you are and where you stand from this day on. No more faking it till you make it. Now watch what he said. So he said, I was naked and you clothed me. Clothing. I was sick and you visit me. Given, given, given your time when I was in need. Wasn't feeling good. I was in prison and you came unto me. Doing what? Giving me your ear and your time to visit. Every one of these was what he gave. And then he said, listen to this, listen to this. Then shall the righteous, now they in the kingdom now, they there. Then said the righteous answer him, hold up, you sure? Said, you sure? We saw ye thee, what did he say? We saw we thee hungry, and we fed you. Thirsty, and we gave you a drink. Guess what he says? A stranger, and we took you in. Naked, and we clothed you. Now, this is the righteous asking Yeshua, what are you talking about? Now, in the kingdom, they the righteous asking Yeshua, what are you talking about? When we do these things? Listen to what he said. When you were sick and was in prison, and I came to visit you. When you were sick and are in prison, and I came unto you. And Yeshua says in 40, and Yeshua shall answer and say unto them. Now, who is them? They are the righteous one. See how you messing around? Coming to this devil platform? Coming to Sister Deborah page? Get your tail up off this page. You at the wrong place. You done played it for too long. Go elsewhere. Go elsewhere. This page is not for you. It have fed you a lot of spirit and truth and gave you a pin needle or light or some light for you to see. That was your drink. Spirit and truth was your food. Go. You have shown yourself and who you are. Go elsewhere and get spirit and truth and light elsewhere if you can find it. I suggest, as a prophetess in the wilderness, that you do just that. And stop eating from the plate of the prophetess. Because you're robbing the poor in spirit. Now listen to this. And he said in verse 40, Matthew 25 and verse 40, Yeshua answered and said unto them, to them, who is to them? The righteous one. They in heaven. He giving them the whole overall how heaven is going to be and how he's going to bring, when he comes on the four corners and collect, he's going to be talking to the righteous and the goats, the sheep, which is one, and the goats. The sheep, which is one, is going to be the righteous. He's going to be talking to them, and they trying to figure out in heaven. They trying to figure out in heaven, when did we do all those good deeds? When did we do those, Yeshua? When did we do those? When did we feed you? When did we clothe you? This is what he says. Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done unto these ones, the least of these, brethren, you have done them unto me. Yeshua said, when you stepped into one of my righteous and done these things toward my righteous, you have done it unto me. Now I'm understanding it a little more. That lead me to understand another part of how you build up the treasures in earth, in the heavens. That's how you build it up, y'all, is give and gave. The most powerful love that anyone on this earth can share is give and gave. So when your heart don't have that heart to do nothing but rob, steal the food on the plate that is righteous, and walk away from the plate eating every crumb and drinking the light, which is your drink, and walking away, waiting for the next time the restaurant is open, the light is on, the food is prepared, and you come and sit at the same table every day. And y'all say to you, you stand your tail down and clown with someone else, because this is not it. I'm giving you pure word of the Most High Yah. While the Ruach HaKodesh is even in me, teaching me. He's telling you the righteous is speaking, and Yeshua is giving the whole world in the midnight hour. Give unto the righteous one. They are the one that's pouring spirit down among you all, feeding you my spirit and truth, showing you the direction to the narrow gate, giving you the light. And all you're going to do is come sit at that restaurant where they feed and cook up food and make sure you get a full meal deal, and you get up off the table and walk away. What restaurant you can do that to and not get locked up? Now one. But see, that's in the flesh. See how the flesh take care of the flesh. But then turn over on the spirit realm and disrespect, dishonor the Most High Yah in the spirit realm, and they faking that they all let in some in it, but your fruit identify who you are. And your actions of not knowing, not desiring, not having the heart of Yah enough to understand. You got to build treasures in the heavens. So these here righteous ones, they were building treasures in the heavens with one another. And they didn't understand what Yeshua was talking about. Yeshua said, but if you did it to the least of you all, one of you all, you have done it unto me. Because you are was the poor in spirit. The kingdom of heavens was created for you. Oh, Father, yeah, no, you didn't go there. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I can go home now. I can go home now. Now that's deep. That's deep. Woo-wee. Now I want to step into Job. Job, let me see what time I got. A little more time. Job 29:16. Oh, Father, I just love you in a way that I don't understand the love that I have for you, but I know you love me first. You loved me first in giving and gave. You gave me life from the heaven. Whoo, Father Yah, Father Yah. Let's go to Job chapter 29, verse 16. Praise the mighty Yah. Woo, Father Yah. Job 29, verse 16. I was a father. This is Job. Now listen to this, y'all. Job chapter 29 and verse 16. I was a father to the poor. What did he do with the poor? What did Job do with the poor? He taught them. He fed them. He took care of them. He gave. To who? The poor. He was the richest in the land, I believe. But he was also one that was righteous. Now listen to this. Job is said here in Job 29. Now this here is really kind of for me, because I kind of love the way it's put, because it kind of brings, okay, it's like if you sitting in this whole room and it's dark. Okay, this is what it does. It's like this here. Let me show you. You see it's dark, right? So when I'm reading this verse from Job, watch this here. It's like the light turn on. Let me tell you why. Right here in Job 29 and verse 16, he says, I was a father to the poor. Remember, he was a righteous man. And the cause in my King James Bible, the word which. Now we know that the words were printed in Hebrew, but I'm just showing you how the power of the right hand of the Father knows how to touch base with his. Most people don't know nothing about that. Even the pastors, the priests, the bishops, the seers, the Mories, the watchmen, you know, all of them. None of them know nothing about it. The apostles, the prophets, and the prophetess. They don't know nothing about that. Okay? So I'm trying to say to you, they said they are those titles. But like I told you, their actions speak louder than their words. You see? Now watch this. As I see verse 16, Job chapter 29, verse 16, I was a father to the poor, and the cause which, the word which is slanted. It's saying, Deborah, stop, meditate. Okay? So I see where it says, which I knew not. I searched out. What is it you didn't know, Joe? What is it that you didn't know, Joe? It's what Sister Deborah teaching you all right today. The poor has a purpose on this earth. He searched. He knew not. It was confusing. He knew not. I searched it out, though, Deborah, and I found out what you found out. Praise the Mother. But he wanted you all to know. Job wants you all to know what Sister Deborah is saying. He was a father to the poor. So do you understand why it is said that he was upright? Because he was a righteous one. He was branded for the Father's name's sake. But he searched out. He was the father to the poor. He was the father to the poor. And the cause which I knew not. Deborah, I knew not the cause of why. Ooh-wee! That's deep. That's deep, Father. Y'all, that's deep. Let me break that thing down. I was a father to the poor. So a father, not, you know how a father is with his children? He letting you know I was a father to the poor. But then he stopped and said, and the cause which I knew not, Deborah, I searched it out. Praise the mighty Yah. I searched the reason why I'm here to be a father to the poor. Deborah, I never understood, Deborah. Why was I like this? Why was I a father to the poor? He did not say a brother to the poor, a friend to the poor, but a father to the poor. And the cause which I knew not. Deborah, I didn't know why and why this was. I searched it out, though. I searched it out because he was righteous. And he was trying to figure out, how did I become the father to the poor? It's because what he give and gave to the poor. It's what he give and gave. And Yeshua just gave you the example in Matthew 25. When he told the righteous one that's in the kingdom, you gave to the righteous. This is talking about Job. Job, you gave to the poor in spirit. You gave and gave. You were planted to be rich, to give the poor, and you didn't understand. Why did you become the father of them? Because Yah had orchestrated that thing. And that's why he said you was upright. You was righteous, Job. This is why. You came here like this, Job. And then Job said, but Deborah, I didn't know. Listen, read it. Read verse 16. He said, and the cause which, and that's slanted. So saying, Deborah, seek that, seek it. I knew not why I was a father to the poor, but I searched that thing out. So that's beautiful. Now we're going to step into the end to sum this thing up. And we want to go to, we want to go to Luke 16 and verse 11 and 12. Luke 16. Now we're going to step into a total different, but it's supporting the poor in spirit, okay? And it's gonna cover something else here. We're going into Luke 16. I think I got that right. In verse 11 and 12. And it reads, Luke chapter 16, verse 11 and 12. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous, wait a minute. Let me get that right. Luke 16, verse 11. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Who will commit to your trust the true riches? Let's go to verse 12. I'm going to sum it up, y'all. And if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? This is Yeshua. First of all, I like what he said. If, in verse 11, if therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon. The unrighteous mammon mean the worldly mammon, the finances that you have, the wealth that you have, okay? Who will commit to your trust the true riches? Y'all ain't gonna give you spiritual riches because you are not faithful at all. And you're unrighteous in your mammon. What is mammon? Let me tell you what it is. It's your wealth. And it's not a wealth that you rich. Where's my? It's your money. Faith, let me get it. Let me see if I can. I wrote that thing out and I don't even see it. So, mammon is your worldly finances, your money. And if you are unrighteous in that, he said, what did he say? And that is unjust. No. Where am I? 16, 11. If therefore ye are not being faithful in the unrighteousness mammon, that means the finances that you have, the wealth. And when he's saying wealth, he don't mean rich, y'all. That don't mean that you rich. He just said what you have. Who will commit to you your trust the true riches? Meaning the spiritual riches. You ain't getting crap because you ain't been faithful nor righteous in what you have. See, I told y'all, people think what they have is their world. They don't understand you have made it your God. You have traded over for anything spirit or representing God. You have traded to be your power, your authority. People sling it among their friends, their families, their co-workers, as if they got it all. See, and they live that mindset. That's wicked and evil. Remember, I heard somebody teaching it too. And I did not know in the Bible, it talks about it in Revelation. People are using it, just like I was saying, sorcery in a way that they don't even know they're using it. Yes, they are. They are using sorcery. And see, they think it's sorcery in a form of voodoo and just witchcraft, but it's sorcery. It's like black magic because you're using your fleshly mind to orchestrate a lifestyle in where you can control people and control situations in your life because of what you have. That's like the wealthy people. They think that they can go in and put a chip in Kanye's mind and head or give him medicine to do that because that's what power and having do to you. It causes you to practice things that pleases you, and you see everything you're doing is righteous, but y'all see it to be wicked and evil because it does not represent him at all, because it does nothing for the righteous. Okay, now listen to what he said, and that was Luke chapter 16 and verse 11 and 12. If therefore ye have not been faithful, have not, so he's telling you ain't faithful in the unrighteous mammon. That means finances, money, what you have. Who will commit to your trust the true riches? Thank you, Father. See, y'all can sit and talk about Sister Deborah and be negative and say whatever you want. The Ruach HaKodesh is clamming on top of this book tonight. And it did with part 1. Clamming on top of it. You ain't getting away with nothing. So slide on over to the next page and get the 4 meal deal you need for your flesh, because this is not it. So let me tell you what happened. Let's go to verse 12. And if ye have not been faithful, the 4 brands are faithful. Faithful, fear, righteous, and belief. And listen to this. And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? Who's going to give you your own if you ain't been faithful over another man's? Now listen to it. Another man's. Who shall give you that which is your own? Why would y'all give you your own YouTube page or your own anything? You ain't gonna get nothing. You are unrighteous. Look at the top, verse 11. Unrighteous with what you have. Mammon is money, finances. You see? And you're unrighteous with it. And you're not faithful. So he said, I like what he said, the true riches, letting you know what you think you got, baby. That ain't the true riches. I told you to take what you have, build up treasures in the earth. And how do you build up treasures? By giving to the ones that are righteous, the poor in spirit. They giving to you. They're giving you everything of me. And you taking what you do have and you building your treasures on the earth for you. Y'all better, no, I ain't say y'all better wake up. He said it's finished, Deborah. Everybody's where they at. It's almost to the point where he said they are set where they at. That's why I'm telling you, don't waste your time. Let them go. Let them unsubscribe. Go their way. Don't entertain him. They've been robbing you. See, I had no idea it was that deep. I really didn't, but I told y'all over and over, even if you don't even come on here, nor in the live chat or whatever, when you come on this page, you've been robbing. Take it. Spirit and truth. And I know you say, when it's free, baby, y'all have always been free. But what is Yeshua saying in the heavens when he tells them what they have given? If everything was free, like you feel that's free, that's just like this one right here with this mammon. That person don't have they have unrighteous and they're not faithful. But in them, They holier than thou. They holier than thou. They take what they have and keep it for themselves and build up own treasures on the earth. See, you see the mindset? And if you think for 1 minute it ain't gone, I don't know what you got another thing coming. So I like this here. Let's see what verse 13 said. No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he would hold to one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yah and Mammon. So when you run around here, Mammon is your finances. And you sitting here trying to build heaven on the earth for you and yours. Okay, I tell you what. You know who you are. You know where you're going. See, people don't believe. They just cannot believe there's only two places after this is all over. They're more concentrating on, getting to the promised land and I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And they just don't know. The bridge you're talking about crossing to get there, you won't see it. He knows who you are here. That's why before he take you there, he had to do some things here. Let you go through some things here. And you still don't get it because you're not walking in righteousness. And I love the way Luke 16 and verse 11, 12, and 13 is talking, because it's telling it. I never really meditated on the fact where it says unrighteous. And it says not faithful. So it's showing me when people get money, they're not faithful. They fall unto, they already unrighteous and they rest therein because they serve Mammon and not Yah. When you serve Yah, you have to be able to have the Holy Spirit so it'll lead you to who's who and what's what. Where you give the drink of water, you give food, clothing, take in, house. Who? The righteous. That's what heaven said. That's what Yeshua said. In heaven, that's how it's going to be. It's for the righteous. And he was telling the righteous, these are the things that you have done to one another. You have done it unto me. But these people here, in this day and time, it's all about the flesh. People are loving so much on their flesh and their family and me, and mine, and what I'm going to get. It's no way in the world. But then again, you know what else, y'all? I think because ever since I was young, it has always been my ideal to take care of others. Do you all know that my whole life has been serving others and giving? And I sometimes look at it and I say, Father, why do I do that? It ain't about receiving. It's about what is in me that keeps me giving in spite of not receiving. And like I told you in the last video, there are those who will give. But it's like if you go to McDonald's and you order a number one, they ask you what kind of drink. You say a Sprite. Now, if they give you your full meal deal, your number one, and they give you a cup and some Sprite is in there right here, you know what? You're going to act a fool. That flesh going to cut up from the floor. So why do you give not even a tiny sip to make? It's a lot of it has to do with making yourself feel you doing something. Role playing. You go to a restaurant, same thing I said in the other video. See if they say, would you like something to drink? No, but can I get a glass of water? They come to your table and you got water right here. You know what you're going to say? Can I have more water than this? Look, do you see? Like, you're going to act a fool. And if they come back with the glass again and the water is right here, you're going to say, ma'am, I would like the water, but you please put more water in that glass. They come back with the water and the water's still right here. You're going to cut up. They ain't getting no tips. I done said to her 3 times, give me a glass of water. And look what kind of water. You see what I'm saying? You see the flesh? It wants what it wants. But then it tries to walk over in the spirit realm with the righteous, speaking spirit and truth, giving a glass of life, and sit at the table and eat a full meal deal and walk away without tipping, without paying, and walk away. And then say, the word of Yah is free. Baby, do you know what the power in his word is? The power of his word, know who you are and know who I am. And that's why this message is coming to you today. Separate yourself from Sister Deborah. I'm looking for the elects, the true servants of the righteous one on this page. Okay? So I like that because here it also said in verse 13, Luke 16 and verse 13, no servants can serve two masters. So Yah wants me to let you know, serve your mammon. Serve yourself. That's really what he said. He said, serve yourself. Me, mine, and I don't give a rat's behind about serving Yah. All I care about is how I can fake it till I make it. I can feel that sign like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But Sister Deborah checked your tail, didn't she? She checked your tail, didn't she? And guess what? Poured in and poured out and still in her lane. Thank the Most High for creating a lane for me. Still in her lane. They're going to be on her every day. Shooting in and shooting out. Okay? So it says in verse 13, Luke chapter 16 and verse 13, no servant can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. Hello. It's time to despise. Yet cannot serve Yah and Mammon. See how people think money is their world? You know, when I was staying in Atlanta, I said some words, and I said, Father, I see on here, you said, give me my daily bread. I hear that prayer. And you know what I did? I said, teach me what the daily bread is. And did you know what? I had no idea he was going to teach me that. Not only that, he had me to live that thing. He had me to live that thing. Because what we thinking is we so busy trying to fake it till we down on this earth trying to live holier than thou. And all that power that I've given you all of that right hand already orchestrated heavens for you. Because they knew how ugly you would be. And who you are. I thank him for having his book as one of the life and his books that leads to the lake of hell, the lake of fire. Because these people down here thinking they're going to get away with everything and they're going to live. I just went to a funeral today and it was my one of my older sister's husband. And let me tell you, it was really peaceful kind of. Because his other daughters was telling his daughters, because my sister got a daughter by him, but his other daughters was talking about how he was. A lot of us don't even know that there are those that Yah is just sitting down just to be meek and humble and get up out of here. Everybody think they're going to live forever. And you know what the saddest thing? Even elderlies, people who over 60 years old, they're worse than those who don't know truth, ain't seen light, ain't heard light, don't have spirit and truth. They walking at such an elderly age, still walking straight up in darkness and still trying to make somebody think that they are holier than thou. They should stop trying to play church. Because the church they playing is the flesh church. It's not the spirit. You see? Because a lot of the food that I feed you, you've been stealing it. You've been robbing and running away. I don't have no problem with that. Just go next time as far as you can away and don't return. This page is not for you. And I thank the Father for allowing me. And he's saying here, you cannot serve God and mammon. So while you putting your finances all on top of everything, that's why your body is sick. That's why you can't witness to nobody. Nobody won't listen to you. That's why you don't have a YouTube page. You don't need them pretty much. That's why you can't go to your workplace and people sit down and listen to you minister to them and ask you, well, what does the Father say about that? Because you got to really realize, is there any righteous in me? Because people don't understand. You're doing all kind of spiritual wickedness and calling it righteous and actually walking your whole life. If I'm still saying 55 and older, you need to cut out all that mess. You need to cut out all that mess. And I can see now why a lot of things, even when I said before in many other video, a lot of people are sick and ill. They're on all kind of medication. They are all stressed out and depressed. They got so much hate. All of this is due because you're trying to pretend you're serving a God and you're serving mammon. I want to say I thank the Most High for Yeshua and how he has taught me, because he has been perfect in everything he has said. So here I'm going to chapter 18 and verse 22 of Luke. And we're going up in 18 of Luke, chapter 18, verse 22. Let's see what 18 and 22 says. Now, Yeshua finna say something here. Chapter 18 of Luke and verse 22. Now, when Yeshua heard these things, he said unto him, yet lacketh thy one thing. Sell all thy have. You think these Negroes gonna do that? What they have is their world. And they don't even trust him enough to know that whatever you sell, if he would have sold that, y'all would have gave it back to him double. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? So while you play on what you have, and you said, when I don't have enough, I don't have it, or I don't have enough, I don't have nothing to give, or I don't have nothing to, okay. So you don't have nothing to build up treasures in the heaven. And if you don't have anything to build up treasures in the heavens while you're on the earth, know when you get there, you weren't heaven bound. You got to go to the other book, stand in that line. Because what you do on earth represent who you are in heaven already. A lot of you all think you down here and it measure who you are. Baby, heaven know who you are. And I told y'all in the last 2 and 3 weeks, you should know where you stand in the light. All this pure word, you didn't ate, you didn't digest, you didn't even craft it out. Got more, constantly back and forth. But hear what is said in Luke 18 and verse 22. And now when Yeshua heard these things, he said unto him, yet lacketh thy one thing. This is the rich guy. Sell all that thou have. He telling him to sell all that thou have. Sell all that thou have and distribute it unto the poor. So he's not only telling him, give everything you have. He's telling him to sell what you have. Sell it and distribute it to the poor. And thou shalt have treasures in heaven. See, this parable was for you and I, whether you have the Holy Spirit or not, to show you how you build up your treasures in heaven. What's the deal, Yeshua, when you had collected the sheep and the goats? The goats, Deborah, was going to the lake of hell. The sheep was going to the throne of the Most High Yah, where heaven was created just for them, the righteous. They are the righteous. They are what you call the poor in spirit. That's what it says. The poor in spirit, are the heavens is yours, because you're the righteous one. And what the Father is telling him, and thou shalt have treasures in the heaven, and come and follow me. Why? Yeshua is the richest. He come down to represent the Father, so therefore he is on the earth as the richest of the rich. But these is not, you all don't want the rich of the spirit. You want the rich of the flesh. And the reason why y'all don't give you enough to have enough is because you never gave to the righteous. Do you think that that example that Yeshua is showing you how heaven has orchestrated, and he stood there with the rich, the righteous, and told them heaven was created for you, and that you went to telling them what all they did, the 8 things they did, and they said, well, wait a minute, when did we do that? He said, when you did it to the least of the one of you all, which is all of y'all righteous, when you did it to one of you all, you did it to me. They was confused. When did we do that to you? When you done it to the least of the righteous one, you have done it unto me. So here, when you look at Luke 18 and verse 22, he's telling the rich man to sell all that thou have and distribute it to the poor. And thou shalt have treasures in the heavens, and come follow me. This is how you build up treasures in the heaven while you on the earth. You think people would do that? You won't do that. You wouldn't do it. Now, if the Catholics and the churches, you were all still back in the churches like the whole world is, if you had to go back to that, which many of you are going to end up going back, because that's where your mindset is at. You're still there. You just don't know it. And they had tithes and offerings. Yes, they was taking offerings, and they were taking tithes. In the way that they were doing it, it shouldn't have never went to them. But the people made them wealthy. That's the flesh of man. They will give to the flesh, but will not give to the spirit. You see? He's telling him to give it to the poor because you sure know who the poor is. He just told them that you are the righteous one. And he telling this rich man, and thou shalt have treasure in the heaven. Had he given what he had to the poor, then he would have been a righteous man, and he would have inherited the kingdom. He didn't want it. He said, no, I'm on this earth. I built my treasure here on earth. I got all this wealth. You talk like a fool. Shalom, shalom. And he left. Do you really believe? I want to say something to you all out there. Do you really believe that the Most High, the creator of all things, allowed the instructions and directions to hold this, and the Ruach come to teach it for you to think that I'm a liar and you the truth? I told you the two-edged sword don't give a rat's behind who you are. It's going to pierce you from the inside out and going to still keep it going. So that's beautiful. He had enough. He should have already have lived his life. Shouldn't even hurt him. Then he said, come follow me. First and foremost, I ain't finna give none of it to nobody. And I don't care if I don't follow you, even though I thought I was doing all the commandments. See, even if you sit around here think you fooling Deborah, thinking you holier than thou. Oh, I'm spirit and truth. I got to like, yeah, I know you. And when he showed up on this guy here, he said one thing: sell all that you have and give it to the poor. Man couldn't do it. Showed you that all these commandments you've been following, saying you holier than thou, it showed told on you. See, and Yeshua knew that. He knew it. That's why he told him to sell everything. Because he knew he wasn't righteous. He knew it. But he had to let the man see that he wasn't. That's like Sister Deborah knows. I told you I know how to discern you. I know it. You see, that's why he's allowing me to bring these robbing spirit, the poor in spirit, to let you know you're doing something worse than this man here. He ain't robbing nobody. He just wants to live in the flesh on the earth wealthy. He wants to serve mammon than serving Yah. But you come to this page. And like I said, as long as you was going to the church and you go to a church and you go whatever you were to go, you be giving. But you think spirit is free. Oh, I can get it. I shouldn't have to pay for it. And I don't need nobody to tell me. You know what? See if you can stand before Yah today and tell him that. Because why would he even want Yeshua to talk about how to build up your treasures on the earth if you already doing it? It wouldn't serve no purpose. Any of these instructions and direction and the Holy Spirit, it's no need to have the Holy Spirit. It's no need to have this book if you got the mind in your flesh to know already how to give and how to give. How you like them now. If you already know how to do that, it's just like I heard this old dried up hen come telling women back in the day, it's been about 3 years, that when you are a prophetess, you shouldn't have to say that you are a prophet and a prophetess. You's a fool, you's a fool, and you's a fool. Heaven knew who he called you to be before you was on the earth. So why wouldn't you identify who you are? So how would they know to go unto a prophet or a prophetess if they are called to be a judge? Well, okay, who gonna go to you and not know who you are? But you're gonna judge them. Come on now. You see how sick that's? You can be so smart, you can be dumb from the inside out and the outside in. But those are the ones who got people supporting them. I don't have no problem. Food for the flesh, you can go in the restaurant, get food for the flesh, and you be getting your satisfying. So more food for the flesh for going to the platforms. They give you what your flesh needs. That's where you need to be. Okay, this here platform is not for you. Here is beautiful because I like how he's telling this rich man this. He knew who the rich man was, even though he was following the commandments. The rich man said, I have kept all since my youth and coming up. So you kept the commandments. So you think the commandments is it, huh? Okay. You think the commandments is it, huh? Okay. You think the commandments is it. Okay. I tell you what, pull up and pull out. Sell everything you got and give unto the poor. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So that showed you all the commandments you had kept wasn't worth a dime. So you stand your tail out there and think it. That everything Sister Deborah said is wrong and I shouldn't have to give because she said give. You sure right. Y'all said he already said what he had to say. That's why he told me it is finished. I got you to continue to speak for me. Because in me, it's finished. I've seen the ugly mouths, Deborah. I've seen what you already see. I'm giving you an opportunity to live to see and to discern these people. You've been on here 5 years giving these people spirit and truth. You've been giving them to the men and the women. And I told y'all, I remember the beginning telling me, come on, bro, you got the keys. Open the door. Please open it. I was a nervous wreck trying to figure out, well, how is these people on this devil platform and none of them got spirit and truth? Shh. You're right. Women ought to keep quiet. That's a flesh thing. But in the spirit realm, They better stand on every mountain they possibly can, because if you are appointed, anointed, and predestined before the foundation of the world to be a part in the body of Hamashiach, and Yah have called you to speak, and you sitting around letting a fleshly man muzzle your mouth, you're a fool, and you're going to be a fool. And you're going to stay a fool. Okay? So let's go to 1 Timothy. I'm almost done. 1 Timothy. Father Yah, you know I love the way I know love, because I know it's give and gave, but I like you giving me what you have gave me today. This is part 2 of Robin, Spirit and Truth. Yes. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 18. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 18, and it reads, that they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to disperse, ready to distribute willingly to the community, ready to distribute willingly to the community. Now watch this here. Verse 19. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay a hold on eternal life. Let's go. Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay a hold onto eternal life. That's going back to tell you. That's how you build up your treasures in the heaven. But if you're not building a foundation of treasures on the earth for the heaven, you better look in Revelation chapter 20 and see if your name is already in the Lamb book of life or in the Lamb books. Because you can tell who you are. And that's why he said, you know them by their fruit, Deborah. They going to be of the spirit, or are they going to be of the flesh? And you know the fruit I'm speaking of, Deborah, is spiritual. See, that's what they didn't know. It been smeared to where they don't understand what the fruit is. That's why you are able to identify who they are by their actions. Does it show their fruit? See how messed up you all are? You don't even have the sense to understand the fruit of the spirit is spirit. And if you ain't showing any spiritual fruit in your actions speak louder than your mouth, which is your words of your flesh. Look at this again. In verse 19, it says, lay up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come. And I ain't talking about these hard times, y'all. That's talking about eternal life. Just hear it. That they may lay a hold on eternal life. Going back to what I said. Yeah, you can stand on this Deborah platform and try your best to make Deborah a liar. You can stand on this Deborah platform and talk with one another and try to make I tell you what, you can touch tag with one another. She wrong. She did. You can do it all day and night. And when you finish, this message is going to be on YouTube, even when I'm gone, as long as YouTube is up. And it's spirit and truth. It's spirit and truth. And it's nothing you can do about it. One thing I noticed about myself, and it took the Ruach to tell me, everything you have told them people, all you have done is try to lead them to me. I've taught you how to live your daily bread. You know who's the richest. You know I'm the richest. You know who I am. And all you've been giving them people is who I am, just as Yeshua. And though they eat it, yep, they eat it. So what? It's 100 and something. It don't matter. Spirit and truth leads to the narrow gate, not to the broad. Okay? So that answers that narrow gate, doesn't it? So the broad gate leads to destruction. So when you see all these people, all these multitude of people going in, you might as well join on with them. Because most of you are really geared to the broad gate, especially after the part 1 and part 2 of this robbing of the fruit of the poor in spirit. Okay, so here in 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 19, it's like telling you, lay up your treasures in the heavens, y'all, for eternal life. And when you can't do that, and it's more easy for you to bash Sister Deborah and say she this, and no, I ain't got, no, I ain't gonna do nothing. Good. And it doesn't measure your destiny to heaven to the book of life, nor the eternal heaven. But the instructions and direction lets you know who you worship. And if you think you're gonna worship Mammon and Satan and enter into the kingdom, Sister Deborah will tell you where your destiny is at. You see? Whether you like it or not, it is written. Okay, let's go to. Oh, I already did that. Okay, let's go to. Oh, I already did that one too. Matthew's. Did I go to Matthew's 19? Let's go to Matthew's 19. Matthew's. Let me see what time it is. Yes, it's almost time. Matthew's 19. And another thing I think about, I said, Father, I don't like the idea of making these things long. He said, do you know the longer you make them, the more you're able to break down things into spirit and truth? I said, wow, I didn't know that. Yep, you break that thing down. Why? Because greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. And just because Sister Deborah's swinging his sword, don't mean she going to be any different when you finish running your mouth. She's still going to come out swinging. Okay? Matthew chapter 19 and verse 21. Have we covered that? Let's go. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 21, it reads, and here we keep going into Yeshua. Now, this is where the problem is at. A lot of these verses, when it spoke of the poor and when it's speaking of the poor in spirit and all of that, is coming out of the mouth of Yeshua. And it don't matter who mouth they come out of, they still ain't gonna believe it. Because they've been here for thousands of years and they still don't believe it. So, they believe they flesh, the emotions and the feelings and the personal opinion of their flesh, than spirit and truth. Okay? Now in Matthew's chapter 19, verse 21, it reads clearly, Yeshua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell thy hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasures in the heavens. Come follow me. So if he's telling this to a rich man, who in the rats behind do you think you are? Why would AHAYAH allow Yeshua to speak this parable? Just for us to step out of it and say, he ain't talking to me. I read it. Oh, they said it in Matthew, Luke, John, Mark, but I don't pay no attention to that. That's the spirits. That tells you what book you're already in. It tells you who you are. He just told him. To where when Luke was talking about it, it said it a different way. But here he's telling him, this is how you build your treasures in the heaven. And if you build treasures in the heaven, that shows who you are. The righteous ones. So what Sister Deborah cannot do, and I just want to put that out because I wanted people to understand that you're not talking to the brick wall, okay? You are the brick wall. So you're not talking to someone in the darkness or lost or in the world or you're talking to one that's poor in spirit. Okay, I told you all I'm a servant of the Most High Yah. I have the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm taught from the wilderness. He teaches me spirit and truth. He shows me the light that rests therein, so that I might see the way to the narrow gate. And here he's telling this guy who said he hasn't lacked or that he have kept the commandments and all of that since his youth, and still he's an older man. He said he still keep it yet. But when Yeshua already knew, when you're a rich man, meaning you have what you have because what you got. Mm, 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 mm. You have what you have because of what you got. Meaning, you are proud that you hold the commandments and you have kept them since your youth. As long as you have everything you got, you want. That's what he's telling them. As long as you have everything you want, truly, you're going to uphold it. And that's how a lot of people are here on these devil platforms. And that's how a lot of them that's in the church. A lot of them. As long as you have what you have and you content in what you have, oh, I'm righteous. I'm upright. I'm just. I'm holy. I have the Holy Spirit. I have the Ruach HaKodesh. I have spirit and truth. I have the light. I read the Bible. I study the Bible. All those things until you challenge to give to the poor in spirit. And it made many turn from the voice of Yah that comes out of Sister Deborah. And I said, praise Almighty Yah. I heard a couple of people teaching. We are in a season of the wheat and the tarry. He's letting the tarry get trimmed down away from the wheat. So if you think I'm being up and bent down because you unsubscribing or you ain't coming and you ain't liking, I don't have no problem, baby. Truth and righteous lights one another. They don't need you to okay nothing. That's what people don't understand. It's not up for, it ain't for you to okay nothing that is righteous and faithful in Yah. He don't need your okay. He know what he has down here to serve and worship and honor and give all glory and praise to him. You think he needs your ugly tail? Please go elsewhere. I'm all well, and I hope you be well too. Okay, so here he's telling this to the rich man. Now we have Matthew, Luke, Mark, and John giving this example, and then you pull up into Peter now after Yeshua is gone, and Peter and them on their journey. They run up on in Acts up on a man and a woman. They had a lot of stuff, but they wanted to give. But it's the way the heart is when you give. It's their heart. It wasn't that they gave only what they wanted. It was their heart, and y'all didn't like it. He did not like it. And see, you think that you playing with Sister Deborah. You think that you tampering with Sister Deborah and what Sister Deborah's saying, trying to make it wrong so you can live your right. You've been robbing Sister Deborah, the poor in spirit. You've been robbing. Many don't even come on here, but would come on and listen. At the same time, robbing. Eat, drink, and get away from the table and walk out like it ain't nothing. Robbing the poor in spirit. Now, this is the thing. When you rob the poor in spirit, you identify who you are in the books. You know who you are. I wouldn't have never thought that you could really know who you are on the earth, but you really can. Because your flesh gonna walk out your spirit. Or your spirit gonna walk out your flesh. Which one are you? Are you flesh or are you spirit? And which one is walking upright? Now, it was something very important I was going to say. Oh, the guy and his wife. Peter and them didn't ask them. Peter and them didn't know him from nobody else, nor his wife. They decided to give. And they decided to put some of it away. I want to tell you, the Father, he is so just. He is so righteous. He is so fair. He's so merciful. He is so merciful. That grace and mercy is poured out on every mankind. So when they pull up and want to give Peter and them what they want to give them, y'all didn't have no problem with that. But it's the heart of the individual. It was the heart. See, why Peter and them didn't know what was going on, they was just taking what he was going to give. Y'all knew. He took their tails out. He took their tails out. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. I got an issue. Not a problem, but I got an issue. You mean they got taken out because they didn't give all that they had? No, Deborah. It was their heart in the way that they were given. They murmured in their heart. They doubted in their heart. They really didn't want to even give what they gave. Wow, Father, y'all. See, Deborah, they had a messed up heart. They got a messed up heart. He said, just like the ones that will give you a drink. Where can you go in your flesh and somebody give you a drink like this here that you order? Where can you go at Coca-Cola, and get you a Coca-Cola can of soda, and it's only this much in there? You watch how that flesh cut up from the floor because you feel you ripped off. They take it from you. They steal it. They didn't give you your 16 ounce. They only gave you 1 ounce. You still robbing. Y'all had gave me an example. Where was that? Was it? I think it was last year. Now, don't forget, sister over here minding her own business. She don't know who from who or what from what. I don't know nothing about individuals. But y'all told me that an individual is going to, I put on their heart to do this. But when it was done, he said, did you see? They didn't give what I told them to give. I said, but you know me, Father, I'm good. He was the Deborah. No. I'm just showing you the heart of people. They want to give you what they want to give you from their flesh heart, not out of obedience of the spirit. They want to roll up on you and give you what they flesh heart desire, so they flesh can feel content, so they flesh can feel approved. That's the same situation with Peter and the disciples in the book of Acts. When this man and his wife, they pulled up and they gave. But they kept, I say, half behind. Why does that mean that they had to lose their lives? It fits this whole message. They had to lose their lives, Deborah, because their hearts and their minds wasn't right. And they messing with the poor in spirit. The disciples are the poor in spirit. Y'all say, I'd rather for them not to have given than to give with the wrong heart. See, when people thinking that they can give out of their flesh desire, when you know where you stand with Yah, you give out of what the Spirit leads you to give, even though you say, no, I can't. But Yah is saying, trust me in this. But they can't do that. We in the midnight hour, the last hour. He said too much wicked and evil. The hearts are too darkened. They give you a crumb that falls from their plate and feel within their flesh that they are fulfilling. Been on your page for years and give you one speck of crumb as if you ain't been feeding them all these years. So I want to say I'm going to end here. And I thank the Most High Yah for this message as part 2. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to do a part 3. And let me tell you why. Because I believe robbing the poor in spirit, part 1 and part 2, is a power punch message. Just like what took place before the foundation of the world. The reason why I said it is it has been approved in my spirit by the Most High Yah. It don't matter what you feel. It don't matter what you think. It don't matter what you understand. You know, this sword of Yah done cut all up in you and out of you. So move on. Move on. He done slit your tail all the way past your bone marrow with these messages. So move on. Do yourself a favor. Move on. So Sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom. And I will be back with another piercing message of another topic. Shalom.